So many families pass down traditions or family heirlooms or something along those lines. Well, there are some families that pass down diseases that go from generation to generation. And my job today is to inform you over a disease that runs through my family. And that disease is diabetes. So the first thing I want to talk about is the history of the disease and what it is. It was first discovered, the first symptoms anyway, were discovered around 3,000 years ago by ancient Egyptians. And this is coming from the National Library of Medicine, an online trusted resource. The word diabetes was originally coined by Arrhenius around 81 to 133 AD. It's not given a specific time, that's just the time frame he was alive. He was the one that created the term. It was also first discovered that the liver was as important in the diabetes process, or like the way that the body processes sugars and creating insulin and stuff like that, by Claude Bernard in 1857, a French scientist. Now to go on to what diabetes is specifically. Right here I have the differences, because there are two types. The first type of diabetes is unpreventable, like there's no way you can prevent it because it is strictly genetic. It is when the pancreas cannot produce enough insulin. It stops working altogether, or it's working at such a inefficient rate, that it's not helpful in any way. You have to have some sort of outside instrument to help you produce the insulin and maintain your body's sugar levels. Typically, type 1 diabetes is developed at a very young age. Typically, it's between the ages 12 to 18. Some people, like my father, for example, he was first diagnosed at the age of 26. He is now 49. He has been living as a type 1 diabetic for 23 years now. Like I said, he's a type 1. Type 2 diabetes, however, is one that it is preventable. It is strictly a dietary disease, meaning that if you live a healthy life and all these healthy choices, you make these healthy choices throughout your lifetime of keeping a balanced diet, drinking water, keeping a lot of the junk food out, you can avoid getting this. But what diabetes is it's basically like I said, your pancreas either stops producing insulin or it just doesn't produce enough of it. And there are a bunch of side effects to that, such as you can get feet infections. It also affects the urinary system. These are some of the risk factors of it. Like I said, type 1 is genetic. It's your glucose tolerance, such as your glucose levels is impaired. Your blood lipid levels change a lot. A lot of people get type 2 diabetes, develop it after the age of 40 because it is a dietary thing like that. And that's when your body starts to start ceasing to work the way it should. So there are some cure type things for it. There is, for type 1 diabetes, there is insulin. Insulin is it's a hormone that your body produces via the pancreas, but when your pancreas stops working, you have to take insulin for type 1 diabetes. There's nothing else you can take for it. And like I said, type 1 diabetes is strictly genetic. Type 2, however, can be managed through a dietary manner, keeping a healthy diet and everything like that, or you can take a pill or insulin if need be. The way to prevent it, like I said, type 1 cannot be prevented in any way, shape, or form. It is strictly genetic, so either it will show or it won't. It's just a matter of whether your gene pool wants to show it or not. Now, type 2, like I said, can be prevented via a healthy diet and stuff like that. Looking at is there a new cure for it? The only real cure that we are working on at the moment that has any sort of success rate is a gene therapy, which is being worked on, which I got that from the School of Medicine and Public Health. Oh, also the National Institute of Diabetes, Digestive, and Kidney Diseases is where I got the information for the treatments and insulin and stuff like that. But anyway, the School of Medicine and Public Health tells me that the gene therapy is the only way or only hope we have of fixing this for future generations, because there is no new technology for it. We already have the insulin, we have the insulin pumps and stuff like that. Like I said, this is the insulin pump right here. This is where it goes inside, and this is how it senses how much you have in your body. This is how insulin works. And some of the warning signs you can get to see if you're diabetic is you're typically really thirsty. You have to go to the bathroom a lot. There's UTIs and yeast infections. Your weight is less manageable. You can't maintain the same weight. You either lose a lot of weight or you gain a lot of weight really rapidly. Whenever you get cut or burn, it takes a lot longer to heal than it averagely should. And a lot of it, a really big one, is numbness and tingling throughout your body. And like I said, this is the disease that runs through my family. And there are some other ones, and there are some other people who have to deal with this as well. One of the bigger ones that's well known is depression and stuff like that. But diabetes is also, here's a fun fact for you, is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States.